If you have what we call demonic or satanic, that type of stuff will leave what we call calling cards, bite marks, scratch marks, etc. Doing this type of stuff, you'll get people out here trying to recruit you. I've had the neo-pagans, I've had the Wiccans, and I've even had the Church of Satan try to recruit me out here. So I always tell parents, if they have a son or daughter talking about a special friend, find out more about that special friend, because it might be more than what they think.
Most ghost stories are told after the fact, safely from a distance. But when we met Eli Bourdain, known locally as Ghost Man, what we heard wasn't a story. It was a system of belief, one shaped by family history, strict rules, and repeated warnings about crossing the wrong lines.
First and last name. First name's Eli, last name's Bourdain, and I'm known locally as Ghost Man.
Eli says his relationship with the supernatural didn't begin with him.
Well, my family's done this for generations. By that, I mean we've been involved in the supernatural for generations. I think some people are just naturally more drawn to that. I'm what they call an empath, a spiritual empath, and that's someone that can read people or spirits. It just means you're more, I guess, spiritually inclined to feel something more than others.
For Eli, that sensitivity comes with responsibility and limits.
When I go out, I do a little bit of a 101, and the 101 is what are some of the three main things we encounter. I recommend you use your phone to take pictures and video. One of them are orbs. We call them spheres. They have colors, and we call those signatures. What does it mean? Anger, death, whatever. The other thing are shadows. Shadows are another form spirits take. Sometimes they can come into a group, people are startled by them. And then lastly, poltergeists. Poltergeists are knocking spirits, noisy spirits. We had a large German settlement here, so poltergeists are kind of go with the territory. But they're in the buildings as well as outside, and we call them mimics. They mimic sounds, but they're another spiritual phenomena here as well. Those are the big three. Are there others? There's hundreds. So I'm just describing the big three that usually we catch.
But what he emphasizes isn't what to look for, it's what to avoid.
I've taken out NASA scientists. I've taken out philosophers, actors, musicians. I take out people that believe in this. I take out people that practice the craft. I take out people that are atheists and don't believe in this, and it's sort of strange why they would come. I've even had people on the very negative side of this. Doing this type of stuff, you'll get people out here trying to recruit you. I've had the neo-pagans, I've had the Wiccans, and I've even had the Church of Satan try to recruit me out here. But all of them, I turned them down. But I'm sort of, I do this for the good of it. When we talk about spiritual stuff, just so we understand this, there is only a good and a bad. That's it. There is no in between. I'm on the good side of it. So I want to make that clear. The negative stuff, that stuff's very dangerous to play with. Do I know of it? I certainly do. But it's something I don't think people should play with unless they realize what they're doing.
Whether you agree or not, Eli draws a hard line and insists that not everything should be explored.
This area where we are, it is the largest burial ground for Native Americans in the Southwest. Where you see these buildings, the large buildings out here, all of them, 100% of them were built by master masons. And what happens is, back in the day, those remains were just disinterred. There was no ceremony or anything. They were just in the way of construction. That contributes to activity we get. Also on top of that, we have the events of the Alamo. All the death from the Alamo. People died before their time on both sides. There's activity from that. We also had a Native American massacre here called the Council House Fight or Council House Massacre. And there's other events that took place here. I want to share something too. One of the major events here that we had out of all of them causing the death was cholera. A large amount of people died from that, so it was the unseen killer. But in this town, we've always had, some people say we're very superstitious. We are. We don't like to have basements in town. I live downtown and we don't like these basements, but it's just an active area, but it's a massacre site. This was 9/11 before current 9/11. Spirits have an area with which they can move in. That's why a haunted house is always haunted. The only way they can move from there is through what we call attachment. Attachment is they have to have verbal agreement. There's rules to this. Verbally, to call out to spirits, you can use certain crystals to connect with them, and they can attach to you. Other times, nonverbal, a poltergeist. Those are knockings. And what they're doing is they want you to mimic the knock back. You gave nonverbal agreement there, and there could be an attachment, but they could attach to you and move out. That's why when children talk about having a special friend, most likely that's a poltergeist, and they come to the children, it's easy access to the family. So I always tell parents, if they have a son or daughter talking about a special friend, find out more about that special friend, because it might be more than what they think.
For him, curiosity is not harmless, especially if you don't understand the rules.
San Antonio's great. New Orleans is a sister city to us. New Orleans has more of what we call a covering. A covering is a spiritual covering of the city. I don't need to tell you, when we talk about New Orleans, it's not just voodoo. You have hoodoo there as well, Marie Laveau, etc. There is a heavy negative side associated with that. We have that here as well, just not to the same extent as New Orleans. When you talk about spirits, and we talk about rules on this, if you have what we call family spirits, good spirits, you'll feel healthy, you'll feel 20 years younger. They will verbally and non-verbally communicate with you, okay? You don't need to worry about that, okay? That gets into the angelic realm, etc. If you have what we call demonic or satanic, that type of stuff will leave what we call calling cards, bite marks, scratch marks, etc. What I tell people is, if that stuff's bothering you, haven't gave verbal or non-verbal agreement, you can do what we say rebuke. Move, go. You can command it. When spirits hear that, they obey, because they're not supposed to be on what we call this side of the veil. This time of year, the veil is still very thin, and so they come and go. But if you understand good is stronger than evil, you can command the spirits to know that. You'll walk the streets like a warrior. Don't be afraid of evil. It's nothing more than a stumbling block in the road.
You don't have to believe what Eli believes, but after hearing him describe boundaries, consequences, and protection, we wanted to see what would happen when those ideas were tested in the field. So we went on a ghost hunt with him, and something happened that genuinely scared us. If you want to see what happens next, please watch the follow-up video, because hearing about belief is one thing. Being there, it's something entirely different.